Welcome back. We're here to preview the evening kick-off on Boxing Day between Arsenal and QPR. Matt, we'll start with Arsenal. They played really poorly, didn't they? But they still managed to get a point against Liverpool.
Yeah, there's the old saying, isn't there, winning ugly or drawing ugly in this case, whether you can do that. But they were really poor when they Arsenal. I mean, Liverpool are playing better than they have been in recent weeks, certainly, and Liverpool deserved to win that game. I think Arsenal was so disappointed, weren't they, defensively going forward. Sanchez had a nothing game, so did Welbeck. Giroud scored the goal, he's probably the pick of their forward players, and defensively as well. I mean, the Bushi centre-back, Chambers, people were talking about Chambers, next England captain beginning of the season, and he's had a horror the last few weeks. I mean, he's still a young guy, but Mertesacker as well has been the one for me. He's 6'4", 6'5", he's over 100 caps for Germany, and I think it's that picture, wasn't there, released of him sort of ducking away when Skirtle scored the last-minute equaliser, and there's got so many problems at the back. It's the same old story for Arsenal. You see it every season. You can get out of them, and until that changes, they're not going to win the league. And whether they finish top 4 this season, they've got a battle on their hands as well for that. So, and against Liverpool, though, it was just so disappointing. And overall, their performance, there was really nothing for me to take from it, even though they got a point. Yeah,
obviously, they're sixth in the table, on Christmas, which Wenger will be really disappointed because this stage last season they were right at the top of the table, looked really impressive, and it's been a massive dip this season, hasn't it? But the teams directly above them, in the top 4 race are Southampton and West Ham, two of the big surprise teams, and they're the 2 teams that they come up against next after this. So, some big games coming up here. Obviously, people fancy them against QPR because of their terrible away record, but I think Wenger will definitely look to this. Obviously everyone talks about how important the busy festive schedule is, but there's this game which most will be expecting them to win, but the next 2 are big because if obviously we know about Arsenal's pedigree in the past, they always tend to come good, and they always, even though they haven't had as many titles as they would have liked in, say, the last sort of 10 years, but they always tend to get a top 4 place. And the 2 games coming up against Southampton and West Ham, they're both massive.
I think we'll find out a lot about them. From those next 2 games. And I think of Arsenal, they've thrown away 11 points on winning positions this season, and there's obviously an issue there, isn't there? I mean, they did in the Champions League against Anderlecht, wasn't it? When they were 3-0 up, weren't they? And they seem to have this thing where when they're winning, teams like to be a bit conservative, but Arsenal don't really like that. They still push their fullbacks forward, and I think there is an issue there somewhere.
Definitely, and I think QPR, they might fancy their chances here, but I mean, they come into it on the back of a really impressive win, don't they? I mean, against West Brom, they went 2-0 down very early on, but their home form at Loftus Road of late has been fantastic, and they proved it again. Charlie Austin, everyone's going to talk about him. He wrote the headlines. His first Premier League hat-trick. He's now got 11 goals for the season. The top-scoring Englishman as well in the top flight. So impressive. And obviously he returned from suspension for that game, and it was a huge boost for them to get him back, because he is a goal threat. In the last sort of 2-3 seasons, he's proven it. He did it in the Championship last season, and he's proven he can do it in the Premier League as well. And he's just got all the attributes of a good striker. He's tall, good in the air, good finisher. Knows his way around the penalty area, good movement in the box. And to have him back for that game was huge, and he obviously did deliver them. It was basically Charlie Austin 3, West Brom 2, wasn't it? But their home form has been great, but away from home they're just terrible, aren't they?
Yeah, when we talk about every week, don't we? The away form is just keeps getting worse and worse. I mean, we might be sitting here in like sort of a few months talking about 12, 13 defeats. I mean, it's been 8 in a row now, and it's put so much pressure on your home form, doesn't it? I mean, they've only scored 3 goals as well away from home, conceded 20, I think. So it's not like they're leaking goals, but to score 3 goals in 8 games on the road, I mean, that's really poor. I mean, at the beginning of the season, they were losing sort of 4-0 at Spurs, 4-0 at Manchester United, tightened up the goals-wise in that sense, but you put so much pressure on your home form, aren't you? Like you say, good. I think they've won 5 at home this season, which is like top 7, top 8 form if you get points on the road. So, I mean, Charlie Austin as well, you mentioned Austin, I think the contract situation will be interesting with him, whether he gets sold, because teams obviously want to sign him. So
definitely, yeah. I think, obviously QPR, Arsenal, they did play really badly at Liverpool. They barely had the ball at all. It was their lowest percentage of possession in this whole season. But most people will be picking them to win here, just given how bad QPR are on the road. So, what's your score prediction?
Yeah, it's difficult to sort of make a case, isn't it, for QPR? I mean, I think they will eventually win away from home this season. I don't think they'll go the whole season, but I can't see it being here. I think Arsenal win 3-0.
3-0, yeah. I think it'll be really convincing as well. I think Arsenal, Wenger would have been furious with the way, because so many players just underperformed at Anfield that day. So I think Arsenal sort of due a bounce-back performance, and I'm going to go for a 4-1 win. So both picking Arsenal to win by 3 goals in this one. Thanks for watching.